So I just want to show this slide where I elaborate a bit more of that. So creative expressions as a form of ritual. In African communities, it is understood that the spiritual world is responsive to music. There are rhythms and sacred songs that are dedicated to the supreme force, the natural forces, and to the ancestral spirits. The vibrations emitted from the instruments can be used to invoke these energies. So, just reading the image, it says sound can be used to invoke spirits, to raise personal spirits, to be more positive, and to raise self esteem, and for also healing methodologies. So, this is exactly what we witnessed within that scene. So, I also just wanted to elaborate on the vampires in the movie. And what I think is worthwhile mentioning is a lot of people associate vampires with European mythology, which I definitely did back in the day before I started doing this work. But blood-sucking creatures such as vampires are, in European mythology, are creatures known to absorb the life force via blood of the living, can be found in folklore across the Americas, such as the Sucuyant, who is found in countries including Trinidad, Guadeloupe, Dominica, and St. Lucia. And the Dosukuyan is represented as a flying, shape-shifting old woman who bites her victims and drinks their blood for spiritual powers. The creature is also referred to by other names across the regions, such as Old Hige of Guyana and the Lougarou of Haiti and Louisiana. And that's a quote from my Spiritual Parasites article. Now, I just wanted to add that I believe, I forgot what the word was now. In the film, Annie believes originally that it's a haint, and haint is supposed to represent like a spirit of the undead, a spirit that can't rest. And this concept is also very widely known across Africa as well. So if a spirit is not given the correct burial rites, for example, or dies in a tragic way, then that spirit can be unrest and then cause trauma and havoc for those around. So I just thought that was an interesting correlation. I just thought I'd add that. And this is my last slide, I believe. So I thought the ending was quite powerful, where we got to see Stax, and this is where he's dying. And I thought Smoke was the other one. I keep getting them confused. But no, Smoke is the gun one.
The one that lives. Don't worry.
But he dies.
Seen it twice.
He dies.
Because the vampire in the end had a ring with the name Stax on it. I believe it's Smoke.
Right. So forgive me if I've got the name wrong.
We don't want to get
whoever
her
partner is.
Yeah.
Then, as he's dying, you can see that he's able to see them, his missus and their child who previously passed away. So to me, that shows that kind of reconnection to the ancestors, bringing in the understanding that there is life after death. So we're going into that concept of reincarnation and life in this realm of spirit. And so I thought that was a beautiful fusion. And also earlier on in the film.
Yeah, carry on.
Also earlier on in the film, she mentioned that if she were to be taken by the vampires, to kill her, because she knows that she's going to be able to return to her ancestors. And I thought that was a really powerful, beautiful message, that for her, she didn't fear death, because she knew that it meant that she would be able to go home and be surrounded by her loved ones. And there we go, Dalian.
Yeah, that's it. So for everyone, how do you feel? First of all, drop some comments in there.
That was a lot.
And we're going to open it up. Stax is the vampire. Thank you, family. Yes, we figured that out. We appreciate your support with it. That one that stayed alive. So
So if anyone wants to join the call, just to add, if you want to add any comments, feedback, number one, you can put it in the chat. I'll also put the link into the chat right now if anyone wants to join the studio quickly, just to share your thoughts, comments, your opinions, because that was just mine. As I said, that's just a few of mine that I picked up on. we also want to hear yours too. And then Dalian will go into his presentation.
So we'll give the family literally about 30 seconds. Everyone have a think. You're more than welcome to jump on the call with us. And we would love to hear your thoughts. And then we go forward, because we have ever more interesting things coming up. So I'm even going to mute us for 30 seconds just to see how spirit takes any of you. And then after we will come back. And if not, I'll have to start picking out someone out of the crowd. Yeah, or out the virtual space. All right, family. So let's keep thinking. We want to hear what you have to say too. Sharing is not only caring, but it's also learning. Yeah, that's how you create communities of learning.
It was working yesterday. Sorry, let me talk at this. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to add some information here. So, sorry, wait.
Yes, one-winged angel, my brother D. Family, you see, this is when I talk about support. Again, remember, I told you the support is not just a financial thing. Yes, finance helps you to have more.
Where is your file though?
It's on the same file.
Have you put it on the desktop though?
It's in the same presentation.
Oh, so why did you come out of it?
Because I need to reformat it. I need. So with one winged angel, as I mentioned to you before, that the support that we need is not just or even we request is anything financial. Okay, it's also, I'll give you the example with one winged angel, because he came into one of my last presentation that I had, which is the African sacred roots. The brother flew all the way from the States to come to be present. And you know what? Have I ever felt it. I can't put it into words, you know? Yeah, I have people traveling other cities. You know, we have people coming from maybe other countries on the same continent, but to come all the way out just to contribute, as you see, then it becomes priceless. But then it also makes me know that I can count on this brother when we need to expand and do more. So I'll let we have a beautiful, brave soul in the house. Oh my goodness, what a name. Okay, I don't think I'm allowed to say that name online. Otherwise, we will have all sorts of tech blockers start picking up part of the conversation. Please speak, family.
That's funny. Oops, sorry. There you go.
I find that very funny.
Indeed.
Greetings, family. How is everyone today? Verona, how are you?
Hi, greetings. Sorry, Dalian's just trying to fiddle with his presentation. You're not going to be able to reformat it. You need to do it over there. So anyway, hi. Thank you so much. I'm doing well. Thank you. Sorry, he's confusing me. So what are your thoughts so far? What are your thoughts on the film, the presentation? Anything you want to add?
So I want to be honest and say that I came into the presentation midway, but I like the way I love the movie. So you just expounding on the spiritual aspects that I have already discussed with people just had me like, oh yeah, I was on point. I know my ancestral stuff. So that makes me pleased with myself and the research that I have invested in myself, the research that I've learned from you and Dalian, and the research that I've learned from all the many people that have come onto your platform and that I remain in contact with through studies. So thank you, Ancestral Voices, for doing all that you do for the past decade or so. And we appreciate you. And I say that for everyone.
Thank you so much. And we appreciate your support too. You know, it's just like, it's amazing how you can make connections with people who we haven't met physically, but your family. So it's amazing. So thank you.
Well, see this name, you're all, you know who I mean, I can't get on screen right now, but unfortunately we've connected. We just haven't seen each other physically.
Yes,
Um, but
exactly.
needless to say, in the point of the film, I think the best part is the ending when Smokes is transitioning and he sees his family, and the man comes and interrupts him. Like that particular Yuugu could have lived if
Yeah.
he did not interrupt the scene. But he interrupted him and he was like, "You can't even let me die in peace." The other part that I appreciated is, even within that scene, the nurturing that Annie was providing the baby, the unseen baby for so long, that it could still be nurtured. And that's really important for us to understand that. Our connection can still blossom. We are still tethered, how we say, to the bosoms and stuff like that. Just because our mom may not be there with us doesn't mean that she cannot still provide that nurturing for us if we tap in. So that was that. And then, the other scene that I loved, it's all about Annie and Smoke for me. This whole movie was all about the couple, like we don't see good Black couples together. The
Mhm.
whole idea of losing the baby, and he says, if your mojo was so good, why didn't it save our baby? And she was like, I don't know. And that honesty and that vulnerability is something that we lack in our community so often. And the ancestral altar space, that is like truly important for us to know that we have a love altar. We have a place that we pray for people, and we pray for everything that could ever, in our lives, if we really believe. So that's what I have to share with the
That was
audience, with
beautiful.
you. Continue to do the good work. When are you coming to New York? Or maybe when am I coming to London?
I know. So, yeah, do you know what? We need to do both because I wouldn't mind going to New York again. It's been a minute.
Right.
Would she like to bring us over?
And then,
Would she
yeah, if,
self-organize?
but also, if you want to organize that, DJ in the background, feel free to organize that. So I'm not speaking.
No, yeah, you can always send us an email and open a conversation so we can make that happen. I'll give you an example. Last
Is
year,
this Marcia?
Yes.
I thought so. Marcia, we've done the presentation already. She already has an initiative for young children. So thank you
okay,
for
so
the
you're already
invitation.
in contact with Marcia. But yes, so Marcia, I'll use the example
Yes.
of our sister Geraldine in the States.
Germany.
In the States, yes, sorry, Germany, that's the one. You've got me mixed up in the dates. Never think anything is beyond your capability. You just need to have a conversation. We can all work together. And it's not like we're an expensive outfit per se. We work with everyone, and we will try to get everywhere we can. And but like I said at the beginning of the conversation, Marcia, and perhaps you were in here, this is why Ancestral Voices needs to change the type of organization it is, because it needs to be able to serve more of the community's needs without it being necessarily creating a deficit on our part, emotionally, physically,
Mhm.
psychologically, and all the rest of it. Yes, so we have to move as these other cultures move,
Ooh,
and
a
are getting
USA tour.
as
That was
much as
so
we can.
Yeah.
cool.
So please, if you're that moved, send an email. Let's begin that conversation. It'll surprise you where we will all end up. Peace and
Lovely.
blessings. I'll be back.
And yeah, so sorry. Whilst that
We will continue. We will continue
We will, and keep doing the amazing work you're doing with those young children. I know you're like us. You're doing it from your labor of love, and we see the work that you're doing. So we support you as well. So thank you so much. Are you
Thank
still
you.
there?
So again, I'll say goodbye. Yes, I am. I am. I will say goodbye, and I will say, oh well, I won't say goodbye. I will say Nanteye. We will walk well and strong.
Ashe.
And thank you again for all the work. And I'll let someone else come online.
All right.
Peace.
Thank you. Peace. Bye. All right, give thanks, Mickey Lee. Also, thank you. Mickey, give thanks. We recognize you as well. You've definitely been supporting our lives. So much appreciation. So, apologies, family, because when I did my presentation, Dalian's realized that some of the text is actually not appearing properly. So, he's just making amendments to his presentation. So, he's gonna sort that out. Meanwhile, I'm just going to put another link in the chat. So, if anyone wants to join us on the call, please do. I would love to hear your thoughts. Trust me, it's not just us. I want to hear your thoughts because you'll probably say something that I didn't pick up on. I'll be like, wow, yes, how could I miss that? So give thanks, Kim Cam, and also congratulations on you releasing your new book. Very proud, wishing you much love and success with that. Much appreciation to all those out here doing the work. Barry Payton says, just tuning in, this wonderful movie was filmed in and around New Orleans. A lot of things going on down here again. Yeah, it definitely was a powerful film. And I do feel like the ancestral energies were very, very prominent throughout. And what I did love as well is that it just felt like a cultural fusion of so many different communities from around the world. And for me, there was a call for everyone to really start connecting with ancestral knowledge, regardless of where you're from. Obviously, this is Ancestral Voices. We deal with African spirituality and diaspora, and as well, I'm from Jamaica, so that is close to me. But I do feel like the film is calling, we saw the Irish references in there, we saw Chinese family in there. They're calling for this wisdom. So, Tracy, if you want to unmute yourself and join me, please.
Well, hello. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Thanks for joining the call.
And I'll show my face.
Yay.
Thank you. I've been waiting and begging and asking, can we please have a discussion about this movie? So, salute for you
Hey.
and you. But I put some things in the chat. One thing that I didn't notice that my son pointed out, the vultures that
Ooh.
appeared on top of the house when Nick went to the Klansman's house.
Yeah.
They were circling around, and then by the time the scene ended, they were actually sitting. There were 3 of them on top of the roof.
Yes.
So I didn't know if you could address that in terms of, African culture, spirituality.
See, that's very good. I actually never noticed that, but I can hear Dalian in the background saying yes, yes. So he obviously picked up on that.
Hello, Tracy. Peace and
Hello.
blessings. You good? Yes. Thank you for joining, having the confidence and the courage to come and share your thoughts, because your voice matters, as does everyone else's. So yeah, no, it's interesting you picked up on that. And with vultures, the main symbology with vultures is to do with, feeding off those who transition. So a vulture is nothing more than a sign of that aspect of the transition, you leaving the physical body. However, what I also noticed, and thank you for bringing the number up, that they put the number 3 of them. Yeah, 3 being a trinity, a creation, as well as the manifestation of something. So in this case, for me, the association there was death has already visited this house, and we know it to be so because it's there on the Trinity. Because the Trinity it's not a Christian concept at all. For those who may not be aware, there's a Dinkra symbol called a Dinkrahine, and the Dinkrahine is the creator symbol. There are 3 circles, and that's not just the only place you find the symbol. You find it in many other indigenous traditions as well. Yeah, so that circle of the 3 mother, father make baby. 1 + 1 is 3. Yeah, it's not always 2 when they codify the knowledge and put it to you in the classroom. So that's why I noticed about that. But yeah, I will be sharing a few soon. So thank you once again, Tracy,
And
for sharing.
the only other thing I would add to that as well is Oshun is, sorry, the vulture is also linked with Oshun as well. So, and also there's another one as well. There's another particular, why? Yeah, there's this the vulture energy comes up quite a bit. There's one in the Kemetic tradition. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I can see King Cam saying, "What about no Pip?" Okay,
It's the same one.
I'll check. But Dalian will come back and say the Yami is more the birds in general. So I don't know necessarily specifically the vulture, but we'll check.
Will the other speaker like to tell us about the vulture in the Kemetic tradition?
It's all right, Tracy. So thank you for your question. And when Dalian does his presentation, he'll elaborate more on the vulture as well.
I don't have it in my presentation.
Oh, it's not in your presentation. Oh, okay. He didn't actually put it in a presentation. All right, thank you. Is there anything else you want to add? All right, no problem. Ooh, and she came back. So go ahead.
You at the ring shout. There were two things: the ring shout with Remnick in the middle when the people were dancing. That's a ring shout. I don't know. I'm assuming you're familiar with what a prayer circle basically.
And so at which point was this in the film?
When Remnick, at the he was in the middle. They were singing as they were bringing in the guy that they thought was a vampire, but he had actually just passed out.
When they were outside.
Yeah, when they were outside, and Remnick was in the middle, and everybody was dancing around him, praising him. I saw that as the worship of whiteness, capitalism, everything that Remnick, personified. The dead, the Walking Dead, worship that in that scenario.
Definitely. I forgot about that scene, but you're right. The way that, and that's when everyone became alive and quite animated as well, as that when they started going into dance and stuff. So you're right. And he was kind of like in the center, almost orchestrating it all. So you're right. Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah, no, Tracy, I do see that connection with what you said in the sense that it becomes the worship of whiteness. I like how you put that. Those were the words I was also looking for, because the energy is essentially extractive. All it is trying to take from others without their permission as well, unless obviously your space is protected enough so you can't come in unless you're invited to. But I'll bring that in. That's a fantastic ad. Yes.
Thank you. And just to also add, Monica says the Meduneta word for mother is mut and can be spelled as vulture. Okay, because I do know that there's definitely something with this mother archetype and the vulture. So thank you for clarifying that. So thank you, Tracy. I believe Philip's here. Philip, are you still here to join us? All right. Thank you for your contribution, Tracy. Fantastic. Hi, Philip.
What's up? How y'all doing?
I'm very good, thanks. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Definitely appreciative of all the just things you all are doing through just all the various contents, allowing us to really just understand our ancestral connection just across the diaspora. It really super appreciative. I actually have one of y'all's books, and I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find it. But I love that book. It was Ancestral Voices. I don't know if y'all released multiple books, but I just know it was one book that I had from y'all.
Spirit is Eternal is the book.
Yes. yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Oh. Cool. Sorry. So go ahead. So you've obviously seen the film, yeah?
Yes, I've seen the film. Me and my girlfriend saw it. I love the film. I also preface this with I also practice hoodoo, so it was seeing that and definitely more so early stage than anything. I've been practicing hoodoo for about a year now. Right before I started practicing, I was in a space where I was looking into traditional African spiritual practices and systems, and hoodoo was what drew me in through just. It's a much longer story because I'm also a still photography image maker, and my first solo exhibition is actually a hoodoo gathering that happened in North Carolina at the Eno River State Park. I was asked to make images during that ceremony and ritual, and it was transformative, it was beautiful, and that was initially my initiation into the practice. So that's kind of just like the abridged version of just my back interest in hoodoo and practice overall. And I loved the movie. I loved the depiction of hoodoo, but I'll also say that I think it was just, at a personal level, my own ancestors, I feel like kind of tapped in, and it was just their own issues with some of just the minute like nuances, because what it is with hoodoo is that, literally generationally all across America, like you're going to find different specific practices in different areas. And also, I believe the actress who did an incredible job, I think in one interview, she had mentioned that she was a hoodoo priestess, and within hoodoo practice, as far as I've been told and stuff, there's not like a specific hierarchy in that space. It's more of just individuals who practice at a longer period of time, understand things, different lineages. But yeah.
Fantastic. No, it's brilliant. It's good to hear your contribution, especially for someone who is already a practitioner of hoodoo as well. Then hearing your feedback is important. And do you feel that it was represented well on screen?
Yes, I do feel so. I feel like because I'm also, I'm also working on my first documentary film, so I understand that when you're in the space of narrative film, like some things can't all 100% fit in, and it has to be kind of changed for the plot for the film itself. And I've talked with other practitioners based really all around the U.S., and they've also had different thoughts on it. But overall, I would say genuinely the hoodoo practicing community in the U.S., where it's primarily based, is all good with it. Like it's more of the strongest, most accurate representation that a lot of people have said.
Yeah, and that's what we felt. We felt that overall the film really did give like a positive reflection of these traditions. I thought it was fair, and as I said at the presentation, it's like we're so used to seeing this kind of negative perception, and I didn't feel this at all with this film, so that was great. Have you finished your presentation?
It's in the email, so you can check. Yes, Philip. Now give thanks. So in terms of some of the symbology, in terms of what the woman, the actor was doing, the main Smoke's love interest, do you feel that fell close to home, to truth, as you are, if you want to call it, in it within, they had like a little bottle of milk, a little stone, which I'm going to speak about again because it's to do with the elements, the in the current Jewish tradition, they do the same. When someone passes, you put little stones as a representation of the presence that once was that person. So again, this is another